Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Kirsty and this is Stuck in the Mud. As always, please remember to like the videos and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I sincerely hope this content is helping you on your recovery journey with OCD and anxiety. In today's video, I want to talk about the things I would do differently looking back on my own healing journey with OCD and anxiety. And hindsight is a wonderful thing. We can look back and think, I should have done this, I should have done that. And when we're in that, desperate place with our mental health, it's not always easy to see, and we don't have a lot of clarity especially when we're so anxious, and our nervous systems are so overstimulated, we can't see things very clearly. And so, like I say, this is all in hindsight, but I really hope by talking about this, I may be able to help someone not get to those depths that I got to, maybe help somebody see things a little differently, whereas I didn't have that. And, I really hope this can help someone actually get onto their healing journey, more quickly, and actually, get to some freedom from OCD and anxiety, because it doesn't have to be a life sentence. There is a way out of this. It's not always easy, but you can get there. And I really hope my videos are showing you guys this. So looking back, I really feel, and the one main thing I think is, I was always looking outside of myself for someone to make me better. I was always looking outside of myself for the, that super powerful medication or, someone that could get me better, make me better. And whilst those things are amazing, those medications can be absolutely a game changer, life-saving medication. When I was in my, depths of despair with OCD, when I was having a really bad time, more than one occasion, some of these medications, especially the one I found, which was clomipramine, or I think it's called something else as well. I think it goes back under different names. I think, is it Anfranil? I may be getting that slightly wrong, but clomipramine is the medication that really dug me out of a hole, and it helped me to actually do the work to get better. So I'm not dissing medication, it does have its place, and it really helped me get back to functioning again, and actually being able to put the time, the patience and work in to actually do the therapy I needed to do alongside taking the medication, and also looking for someone to help you along with your healing journey in terms of therapy, whether that be, exposure response prevention, metacognitive therapy, CBT, whatever therapy you may have done to help you. And those are all wonderful tools. But what I'm actually mean here is that when I was looking outside of myself all the time, I really don't think I was actually putting into practice what I needed to do to get better. So I wasn't doing the work I needed to do, or I wasn't doing it correctly, or I was just wanting it to go away. I wanted it to stop. And I think I had the wrong kind of outlook on it from the beginning. And I feel like this may be why it took me a long time to get to where I am now. This is something I've dealt with for 40 years of my life, and I've had many ups and downs, and there's been some times in my life where I've been functioning fairly normally, and no one would even know that I was suffering from a mental health disorder. I hid it very well, especially in later years when all my rituals and compulsions were very mental based in terms of purely obsessional, but rumination is in fact a compulsion. It's a ritual we do. We kind of ruminate over things for hours on end, and no one can really see you doing that. So it was something I hid, and I was always hoping that there'd be someone that could actually take this away, make me normal, whatever that is, and that I could just have OCD out of my life and anxiety. But really, when I look back on it now, I know there was things I wasn't doing. You know, I can see that it had to come from within me. I had to go, no, OCD isn't controlling me anymore. You know, OCD isn't gonna run the show anymore. I'm not gonna listen to its lies any longer. I had to do that work, and it's a tough pill to swallow at first, because you realize that this is me. This I've got to put this work in. I have got to change my relationship with these thoughts. No one's going to be able to do that for me. And it really was, you know, I remember the point where my therapist was almost like, I'm not going to be able to work with you much longer if you don't start, you know, doing this. I wasn't really improving, and, you know, and it really shook me a little bit that I really had to go take a look at myself and go, you know, I really need to do this, because this person is just, you know, is kind of going, well, I can't do anything else for you. And I realized it was a good turning point for me, that, because it made me think, well, I have to do this. I am the one that has to make the changes. And, you know, like I said, we can often look outside ourselves for the quick fixes, the medication, which are all brilliant things, but ultimately it is us that have to make that change, you know, and the way we look at our thoughts and how we focus on everything, and we ruminate, and we just pull everything apart, and we're trying to change our relationship with that. We let the thoughts be there, we let them coexist with us, knowing that they don't define us. Just because we have a scary, uncomfortable thought doesn't mean that we're accepting it. If we're letting it be there, we're not accepting it as true just because we're letting it be in our heads. It's nothing about that. These thoughts are so far apart from who we are as people, our moral compass, our values as a person. OCD just goes completely opposite to that. And that's why, because it knows it's gonna get your attention and you'll be like, I don't really want to be thinking about this. This is scary. It's not who I am. And why am I thinking this way? It knows it's going to get your attention by triggering you like that. And that's why we get so many of them. We get so many intrusive thoughts because we're actually, without even realizing it, sometimes we're actually involving ourselves with them, when really we need to just let them be there. Like, yeah, whatever, OCD, you can try your best today, but I'm not getting involved. And it can keep popping up all the time. I have days even like that now where I get triggered by something, and I have to remember, I have to do the work. It's a thing that kind of you just get used to doing, and I'll be like, okay, I've been triggered by that, and that's okay. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to show that self-compassion. That is a big part of getting better. That's another thing. Looking back, I wish I'd been more gentle on myself and been kind. The fact that this is difficult stuff to deal with, unless you've been through it, you have no idea the level of despair and desperation, how debilitating it is to live like this, when you are just at the mercy of all these intrusive thoughts, and they just seem to, they overtake your life. And it's very difficult, unless you've experienced that, to understand that it feels like you're powerless at times, to function, to get better. You just think this is going to be you forever. And for a long time, I felt like that. Like I said, I wasn't really doing what I had to do. And I had to recognize that this is just OCD. These are just thoughts. They don't say anything about me. This isn't who I am. And OCD is very seductive, because it's safety-seeking behavior. You're following it because you want to be safe, and it's all driven by fear. And I've had to learn a lot about this and recognize that this is just trying to keep me trapped. OCD is just wants to keep me where it wants me, to limit how I live my life. It's a bully, and it'll keep you there, doing what it wants you to do and you don't deserve to live like that. None of us deserve to live like that. And I really hope these videos inspire people to see that that this is all doable. All this work is doable. It takes a lot of patience at first. It's not easy. It can feel very repetitive because we're always, when we become aware of an intrusive thought, we're like, oh, okay, there it is again. And it can be at first, initially, it can be quite repetitive in that you're going, right, okay, be really passive with it. Okay, I know you're there, but I'm not going to get involved and move forward with your day. It's can be like you're doing that a lot throughout the day. And then you notice something magical. And this is where the change happens. We realize that because we're not going down OCD's path, we're not following its trail where it wants you to go. We're just letting those thoughts reside within us because they don't say anything about us. We don't need to figure them out. We don't need to analyze them. We don't need to do that ritual to neutralize them. We don't need to do any of these things. And when we realize that, and we take a chance, we take that risk of not doing that ritual or not ruminating over something, those are the wins. Those are the small wins that we have every day where we can actually, we can heal from this. We can get better and think, yes, I did that. And guess what? Nothing bad happened because I didn't do that. You're expecting the worst to happen and it didn't happen. We test it out. And these are all experiments I did with my therapist. And then that can be scary in itself. You're going to feel anxiety when you're not standing up to OCD. You're going to get some pushback from OCD. OCD is not going to like the fact that you're not doing what it wants you to do. And that's completely normal. Just believe me, when you're feeling all that anxiety, it's going to be so hard to resist. Just doing that one more compulsion, one more ritual to make you feel at ease. It's going to be hard, but we have to resist doing that. And you're going to feel that anxiety in the pit of your stomach that just wants you to do it. But it's just sitting with it and sitting with that discomfort, because that's where we win the war with OCD. We're not answering it, and our brain is just taking note of this. It's like, well, that's not important. I don't need to do that. And our brain recognizes that, and then the intrusive thoughts will get less. Those unwanted thoughts we don't want to be thinking, you'll notice they decrease, in volume and frequency. You'll notice you get less of them because our brain recognizes that this is unimportant stuff. And this is where we truly heal and get better. And it took me a long time to realize that this is the work I need to do. And I realized then that I can help people with this, because as someone that's been at rock bottom with OCD and anxiety, this is something I can do and is in my capabilities to teach to other people and, make people realize that this is all within your power to make these changes and actually, do something long lasting for your OCD and anxiety recovery. And it is achievable, and it takes work, yes, and it's not always easy. There's going to be setbacks along the way, but we look at those setbacks as just opportunities to do the work. And, next time you get that urge to do that ritual, that urge to carry out a compulsion, whether it be a mental ritual, a rumination over an intrusive thought or anything like that, we when we get those urges, we can leave it alone. And these are all opportunities when they crop up, they will crop up. This is work I do daily, because yes, I don't feel I get as many intrusive thoughts, but when I do, I'm very, it's very really like kind of flippant with them now. I get them and I'll be like, okay, that's trying to hook me in, but I'm just gonna let it be there and just move forward, do whatever I needed to do. Because once I get thinking about it, you just make the whole thing bigger and stronger, and that's when it gets a hold on you and you feel like, I'm going to be thinking about this forever. It does happen to me occasionally when maybe I'm a bit tired or feeling stressed over something. I feel like it's easier for me to get sucked in. But the earlier on I can recognize that's happening, I can do something about it, because I've changed my relationship with these thoughts. I know they're there, and I know they're trying to get me to to ruminate over them and try and figure everything out and feel some kind of certainty over it. But that's what OCD is. It's a doubting disorder. It craves that certainty. And if we can just leave it alone, it goes away and it fades away on its own. We don't have to do anything because it just goes away. This is the amazing thing about this therapy, metacognitive therapy, that I talk about a lot because I know it does actually work, and it's been life-changing for me. I know it can be for you too. So this is the main thing I wanted to talk about, because it really does come down to ourselves to make those changes. And medication's great. That can often help you to do the work. And finding the person that's going to actually help you along this healing journey. I do hope to be doing some one-to-one coaching sessions, possibly into the new year time. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers on my channel and move forward, just doing some more kind of one-to-one work with people, because I feel like coaching sessions are in my future, because I know what it takes to get better. I'm not a licensed therapist as yet. This is something that I hope to do in the future, but I do feel I can offer a lot of support with people actually that want to get on that road to recovery and want to do the work. I've got a lot of advice, and I feel I can coach people along that and give them the support that they need, because I often find that people leave comments and people are desperate to get better. And I think sometimes when we're so desperate to get better, we're actually going at it the wrong way. We're trying to get rid of OCD. We're trying to get rid of the thoughts. We're trying to get rid of the anxiety. When in actual fact, letting all those feelings within us be there is actually the way we get better. And once I got that, it was amazing, because I realized that this is what it takes to actually heal. We're not trying to get rid of anything. It's the complete opposite. We're letting it be with us, because, we don't have that resistance against it anymore. When we're trying to just get it away, it just comes back stronger. And this is something that took me a long time to grasp and get my head around, but this is something I know works. I know it because I've lived it. I've got better. I am where I am now, where I don't get fazed by intrusive thoughts the same. And life is unpredictable. Things happen for everyone. And I think going through some personal experiences myself has also been very helpful. I've gone through some difficult times, and that's been very helpful to me. People go through ups and downs in life, and we can't have certainty over that. And, I spent my whole life trying to be safe and keep safe, and life isn't like that, unfortunately. And it's took me a long time to realise that, I'm not living my life if I'm just constantly on guard, just trying to keep everyone safe and keeping everything predictable. It isn't like that. But if I live like that, I'm just missing out on a whole load of things that I don't deserve to be missing out on. I'm limiting my life to such a degree that it's not a nice way to live. We don't want to live like that. We want to live fully and enjoy ourselves, without constant fear, just directing our life and limiting the way we live, So this is what I hope to achieve by these videos, and I hope to help you guys see that healing is possible, and the things that maybe you can do differently that I didn't do differently. And this is why I feel like I had a long journey with this. I feel like there's a lot more information out there, which is helpful to everyone. I do feel like we grasp it a lot more now, the whole OCD and anxiety, mental health disorder. I think it's a lot more understood. Still a way to go, but people can understand that there is a way out of this. This doesn't have to be a life sentence. It doesn't have to direct your life and control your life anymore. There's a way out of it. We have to do the work, but it's something that we all want. We all want to be living our lives free from this, free from the control of OCD and the grips it has on us. So that's possible. You can do it. And I'm here to show you that that is possible for you too. So I hope this video has helped you today. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this. And I hope to be doing my coaching session soon. So look out for that, watch this space, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.